thought for today is, I just saw 3 people jogging outside my house, and it inspired me to get up and close the blinds. As you know, we just got back from our trip to the Passion Play in Germany. We had 40 pilgrims, mostly from St. Mary's. I just want to talk about the Passion Play because it's a fascinating history. Of course, there have been many Passion Plays, many mystery plays over the centuries. We even have one in the Badlands of South Dakota. There's one in Calgary, Canada. But the most ancient and the most important one is the one in Oberammergau, which is in Bavaria. And it's about 1 hour from Munich. And they've been doing this play every 10 years since the year 1634. So in a few years, they'll celebrate the 400th anniversary. And it began with a vow. It began with a promise. As you know, the 30 Years' War and then the Black Death, the bubonic plague, raged through Europe. 200 million people died in Europe in the world of the Black Death. And it struck the village of Oberammergau in the year 1632, and 25% of its population died. That was 84 people. So the priests and the people gathered in the church and said, what can we do to ask God to spare us and protect us from this plague? So they made a vow, a promise to enact a passion play to commemorate the suffering and death of Jesus, to do it as an offering, as an act of love for God that would bring down blessings and graces upon their village and really now upon the whole world, since 500,000 people attend this play every 10 years. The beautiful village of Oberammergau is surrounded by the Bavarian Alps, and the town is known for its beautiful wood carvings of nativity scenes and crucifixes and statues, but it's primarily known for the Passion Play. So the people began to do the Passion Play every year, first in the cemeteries, and then eventually they built a stage, and now, of course, every 10 years it is a brilliant sacramental where people go and are really touched to see the last 7 days in the life of Christ, beginning with his entrance into Jerusalem on the donkey on Palm Sunday, culminating in the crucifixion and the resurrection of Christ. Now the play lasts all day, starts at 2:30 in the afternoon and ends at 10:30 at night. Now, of course, the good thing is that there's a 3-hour intermission for dinner. But either way, I would recommend bringing a cushion so it begins at 2:30 in the afternoon and it goes until 5 o'clock, and that covers the entrance into Jerusalem, Jesus' teaching, Sermon on the Mount, and much of his teachings are incorporated. And then we have the conflict with the scribes and the Pharisees, the cleansing of the temple, and then that part ends with the arrest of Jesus. And then people have the 3-hour intermission to go back to their hotels or restaurants or bed and breakfast for their dinner, and then they come back for the second half of the play, which is from 8 p.m. until about 10:30, 10:45 p.m. The fascinating thing about the play is that there's only 5,000 inhabitants of the village of Oberammergau, but 2,500, namely half of the population, are involved in the Passion Play. Many of them are actors. The stage can hold up to 600 people at one time. For example, the scene of the Palm Sunday, there's hundreds of children, there's hundreds of adults on the stage, and of course many of the villagers, none of them are professionals, but they're brilliant singers, and there's 100 people in the orchestra, all from the village of Oberammergau. You have to be either born there or have lived there for 20 years to be part of the play. There's also hundreds of people in the orchestra and the choir, and then, of course, the actors. There are 21 main actors. There's 2 people playing each role in case somebody gets sick. The play goes from May to October. This year was May 14th to October 2nd. They do about 100 performances 5 days a week. They're off on Wednesdays and Mondays. But the other 5 days a week, people participate. Some, of course, are behind the scenes with technical work of making costumes or selling tickets. And it's just a powerful performance on the life of Christ. Over the years, Many popes have attended the Passion Play, usually when they were bishops. For example, Pius XI, Pius XII, Benedict XVI, all attended the Passion Play when they were bishops. Over 100 years ago, the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts would travel from America to Europe, and they attended the Passion Play, as well as many other famous people. It's interesting that a child can be in the Passion Play even as a baby, maybe a 3-year-old or a 7-year-old, and then they'll come back when they're 17, 27, 37, all the way until they're 87 years of age. So some of them have been in the Passion Play 8 times every decade, starting as a little child and ending up as Caiaphas or Joseph of Arimathea or Nicodemus. And the men are not allowed to shave their head or their beard for 1 year before the Passion Play, so they look more authentic as scribes and Pharisees. Unless you're a Roman soldier, then you're clean-shaven, but all the others do not shave for 1 year. So they say the week after the Passion Play, all the hairdressers are busy for 2 weeks cutting the hair and the beards of all those, almost 2,000 people that were involved in the play. So it is a powerful thing because it is the life of Christ and the focus on his suffering and death. Very powerful. It's very much like the Easter Vigil, first of all, because it's quite long. Of course, it's all in German as well, the entire thing, with the beautiful music and the orchestra is brilliant. But then every scene, there are 13 different scenes in the Passion account, but each one begins with a live tableau, a living tableau or scene from the Old Testament. And then it goes from that, and that's on the stage for about 2 minutes. Beautiful, bright, brilliant colors, and live people just in each of these scenes. And then it goes from the Old Testament to what's relevant in the life of Christ in the last 7 days. As you know, the New Testament is hidden in the Old Testament is revealed in the New. So, for example, it starts out with the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. And then it transposes to the next scene as Jesus entering into Jerusalem. So the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden, and then the entrance of Jesus into Jerusalem. Then at the image of the enslavement of the Israelites and the need for a Savior, then their unfaithfulness in worshiping the golden calf, giving into false religion. Then you see the scene of Jesus cleansing the temple of false religion. Then you have the crossing of the Red Sea by the Israelites. And again, Jesus entering into his passion, which will open the gates of heaven for us. Then you have the scene of the burning bush, the very presence of God, the burning bush. And then you see the Last Supper, the very presence of God in the Eucharist, that Jesus gives us his own presence in the Eucharist. Then you have the scene of Daniel in the lion's den. You then see Jesus arrested and captured by his enemies. Then you see the image of the suffering of Job. Then you see Jesus like a lamb led to the slaughter, opening not his mouth. Jesus enduring willingly and gently his passion. Then you see Cain killing his brother Abel. And then you see Judas and Peter denying the Lord. Then you have Moses before Pharaoh. And then it transposes to Jesus before Pontius Pilate and King Herod. Then you have Joseph of the Old Testament interpreting the dream of Pharaoh. And then you have Claudia, the wife of Pontius Pilate, telling her dream to her husband Pontius Pilate, saying, "Do not harm this innocent man." And then it ends with the tableau, the live tableau of the sacrifice of Isaac by his father Abraham, willing to give his life. And that then leads into Jesus on the cross and his crucifixion, how God so loved the world that he gave his only son. The last tableau is Moses lifting up the bronze serpent in the desert, and then Jesus being lifted up on the cross. It's a brilliant play, so rich in theology, so rich in church history. It should be everybody's goal in a lifetime to get to the Passion Play, to see it at least once in their lifetime. The next one will be just in 8 years, but we'll go back to the regular schedule, 2030, and then 2034, the 400th anniversary of the Passion Play, and then 2040. So again, every 10 years, but it is an amazing thing to know that in just 12 years, it'll be the 400th anniversary of the Passion Play. So I would certainly recommend going online, watching it. You can watch some of the scenes from it. It's very powerful, and it is a sacramental, just like looking at a crucifix, to see the life of Christ being acted out by these just ordinary men and women who have been faithful to their promise and faithful to their vow.